The chandelier cast a warm glow across our family's formal dining room, where an intervention had been arranged to address my supposedly concerning lifestyle choices. Mom had, of course, orchestrated the seating. Amanda in her Chanel suit, Marcus with his new Rolex prominently displayed, and Dad still in his corporate suit from the office. I arrived exactly on time wearing my usual black sweater and jeans, having taken the bus as always. "Sweetie," Mom began, nervously adjusting her pearl necklace. "We're worried about your financial situation." She glanced toward Dad for reinforcement. The table had been set with their finest china, as if to remind me of the lifestyle I was apparently failing to maintain. Marcus couldn't resist. "Seriously, James, you're 32. I saw you at the bus stop yesterday in the rain. It's embarrassing." He took a slow sip of whiskey, the ice cubes clinking against crystal. "The bus works fine for me," I replied calmly, glancing at my phone. A notification flashed from my garage security system. "Delivery complete. Lamborghini Revuelto secured." I suppressed a smile. Amanda leaned forward, her diamond bracelet catching the light. "James, we're just trying to help. Ever since you left the investment firm, you've been living like this. Public transportation, that tiny house in the industrial district." She shuddered delicately. Dad's authoritative voice cut in. "I've arranged an interview for you at Henderson Financial. Junior analyst. It's not much, but it's a start." He smiled, clearly proud of himself. I took a sip of water, noting how everyone else had been served wine. "That's thoughtful, Dad. But I'm satisfied with my current work situation." Marcus scoffed. "What work situation? That so-called private consulting no one's ever heard of? Even my junior associates drive better cars than you." Mom reached across the table, patting my hand. "Honey, we just want you to succeed. Your brother made partner. Amanda's design firm is thriving. And you," she trailed off. "And I take the bus," I finished for her, silencing the table. Another notification lit my phone. My asset manager confirming the acquisition of 3 more rare vintage cars. My collection was now complete. Amanda tried again. "It's not just the bus. You wear the same clothes. You never join us at the club. And that neighborhood," she wrinkled her nose. "The warehouse district? Really?" Dad cleared his throat. "Son, this lifestyle is affecting the family's reputation. The Hendersons, you remember their daughter Sarah? They asked about you the other day. I had to make excuses. I kept my calm, though inside I was amused. The warehouse they scorned was, in fact, my private showroom, home to the most valuable car collection in the state." Mom brightened artificially. "We've decided to help you get back on your feet. We'll cover the down payment for a sensible car. Maybe a Toyota." Marcus snorted. "Make it a used Toyota. Teach him responsibility." My phone buzzed again, the final paperwork completed. "Perfect timing." "That's very generous," I said, standing. "But perhaps you'd like to see my current transportation situation first." Amanda rolled her eyes. "Oh, James, we don't need to see the bus schedule." I pulled a small remote from my pocket. "Actually, I just finished a little project in that warehouse you're so worried about. Care to take a look?" Dad checked his Patek Philippe. "Make it quick. We have real solutions to discuss." "Of course." I led them out the front door, a small grin tugging at my lips. We crossed the street to the questionable warehouse. The modern security gate opened silently, causing Dad's brow to furrow. "Is this really necessary?" Marcus muttered, his Italian shoes crunching against the pristine concrete. "It's just an empty warehouse." I positioned them before the massive steel door. "Prepare yourselves." My thumb pressed to the biometric scanner. The door rose slowly and Mom's hand flew to her throat. Stadium lights flared to life, illuminating row after row of the world's most exclusive automobiles. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bugattis, ultra-rare vintage cars gleamed under perfect lighting, each displayed like a museum exhibit. Dad stammered, his composure cracking for the first time I'd ever seen. What is this?" Before I could answer, a voice called out, "Mr. Peterson." Perfect timing. My collection manager, Thomas, approached in his immaculate suit. "The new Lamborghini Revuelto has just been positioned. Ann Christie's confirmed the auction estimate for the '62 Ferrari, $23 million minimum." Marcus nearly dropped his whiskey glass. "$23 million?" I gestured toward the collection. Welcome to Peterson Automotive. Currently valued at just over $380 million. I paused by a gleaming blue Lamborghini. This one's my newest addition. $4.8 million. A little upgrade from the Toyota alternative. Mom's manicured hand trembled as she pointed to a Ferrari. That's impossible. That's a 250 GTO. There are only 36 in the world. 37 actually, I corrected. The warehouse next door is my restoration facility. We just rebuilt one from original specifications. Made quite a few headlines. Amanda staggered back. Headlines? What headlines? Thomas lifted a tablet. Shall I show them the Forbes feature, sir? Or perhaps the Wall Street Journal article on the collection's impact on the luxury market? Dad's voice cracked. You're in the Wall Street Journal? I smiled, leading them past a row of classic Aston Martins. That private consulting you were also concerned about. I advise ultra-high-net-worth clients on rare car acquisitions. That tiny house in the industrial district? I said evenly. It's actually 5 connected warehouses, housing the most valuable private car collection in North America. Marcus Rolex suddenly looked very small. But the bus, he stammered, is excellent for the environment, I finished smoothly. And it gives me time to manage my overseas acquisitions. I turned to Thomas, my collection manager. How's the Dubai negotiation going? The Sheikh accepted your offer, sir, Thomas replied. The rare Bugatti collection will arrive next month. Shall I show your family the renderings of the new wing we're building to house it? Mom swayed slightly and Dad grabbed her elbow. A whole wing, for Bugattis? Amanda whispered. 7 of them, I said casually. All pre-war. All one of a kind. The acquisition made some noise in the collector world. That's actually why Christie's is here. As if on cue, the sharp click of heels echoed across the showroom. A woman in a tailored business suit appeared, flanked by 2 photographers. Mr. Peterson, everything's ready for tomorrow's photo shoot, she said briskly. The magazine wants your collection on their cover. He stopped, noticing my family. Oh, I apologize. Should I come back? No need, Miss Hartford, I said, smiling faintly. My family was just learning about my concerning financial situation. How many collectors have reached out about the auction? Over 40 billionaires so far, she replied. Your Ferrari restoration has the entire industry talking. And your consulting waitlist is now 2 years long. Dad's face had drained from red to white. Consulting services? He muttered. My minimum fee is $2 million per acquisition, I explained, plus a percentage of the car's value. I glanced at Thomas. Last year's revenue was $147 million, sir, he supplied. This year we're projecting $210 million, not including Dubai. Marcus sank onto a bench in front of the Porsche display, his jaw slack. But you take the bus. Because I love cars too much to see them stuck in traffic, I replied. Besides, my garage space is better used for this. I gestured toward a silver Aston Martin DB5. James Bond's actual car from Goldfinger. That one caused quite a bidding war. Miss Hartford cleared her throat. Mr. Peterson, about tomorrow's valuation. Of course, I said smoothly. Would my family like to stay and watch the world's top auction house assess their son's concerning car collection? The photographers might even want some family photos for the cover. Mom's pearls twisted in her trembling hands. Dad's corporate composure had evaporated entirely. Amanda stared open-mouthed at a yellow McLaren. Marcus couldn't look away from the Ferrari that was worth more than his law firm. Unless, I added innocently, you'd prefer to continue the intervention about my financial choices. The following week's family dinner had a markedly different atmosphere. Gone were the condescending smirks and dismissive comments. Instead, silence. My family sat stiffly around their massive dining table, watching me eat my appetizer while I casually checked notifications about upcoming auctions. So James, Dad began, his voice stripped of authority. The Hendersons asked about you again. Their daughter Sarah is quite interested in your automotive ventures. I glanced up. Interesting. I just declined their membership application to my collectors club. 3-year waiting list. Very exclusive. Only billionaire collectors allowed. I turned to Marcus. Your managing partner is on the list too. Perhaps you could put in a good word. Marcus nearly choked on his wine. I could talk to him. No need, I cut him off. His application is already being processed. Unlike some people, he never mocked others for taking public transportation. Amanda cleared her throat nervously. About that warehouse district, your showroom, I know clients who would love to. Interior design for me? I interrupted. Handled by Philippe Stark's team. But I appreciate the interest. Mom fiddled with her napkin. Honey, about that intervention. We were just worried about your Toyota budget. I smiled at another notification. Ah, good timing. The Sheikh just confirmed our dinner in Dubai next month. He's fascinated by my restoration techniques. Dad's fork clattered against his plate. You're dining with Sheikh Al Maktoum? Yes. After he tours my collection. His private jet is making a special stop. I paused. Speaking of tours, the governor called. He wants to host a charity gala in my showroom. Very exclusive guest list. I assume you'd all like to attend? It might help the family reputation you were so worried about. Mom nodded quickly. We'd be honored. Excellent. Though there's the matter of appropriate transportation. I looked at Marcus' prized BMW. The dress code requires arrivals in classic or exotic cars. Nothing under $200,000 will be admitted. Perhaps you could all take the bus. I hear it's reliable. Dad finally set down his cutlery. Son, we may have misjudged your choices. I raised an eyebrow. Let's be clear about the new family dynamic. My consulting brings in more annually than all your incomes combined. My empty warehouse houses a collection worth more than this estate. And my clients buy and sell companies like yours, Dad, for weekend hobbies. The weight of truth pressed over the table. However, I continued, softening slightly, family is important to me. So here's how this works. No more interventions. No more mockery, whether someone takes buses or private jets. And success will no longer be measured by what you drive, but by what you contribute. Of course, Mom said quickly. The others nodded like schoolchildren. Good. Now about the gala. I checked my phone. I'm donating 10 cars, about $40 million in value, to fund education programs in underprivileged areas. I expect matching donations from each of you, proportional to your means. Dad's eyes widened. 30 million? In cars. It's called giving back, I said. Something this family could stand to learn. I rose from the table. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a video call with Jay Leno. He needs my advice on acquisitions for his collection. Jay Leno. Amanda squeaked. Yes, I said lightly. He's much kinder about transportation choices than my own family. I reached the door, then paused. Oh, and Marcus, your Rolex is fake. Next time, consult me before buying luxury items. I can spot a counterfeit across a room. Marcus flushed scarlet, fumbling to cover his wrist. I'll have my assistant send details about the gala. Business attire, no flashy logos. Real success doesn't advertise itself. I stepped outside where my driver waited with a subtle, immaculate Rolls-Royce. The engine purred as I settled into leather seats. Behind me, I heard the hushed panic of my family's voices, no doubt already calling their accountants about matching donations. My phone buzzed. Christie's had confirmed the final auction estimates. Their intervention about my financial situation would make an amusing anecdote during my upcoming TED Talk about hidden success. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's success so massive there's no room left for doubt. And as for that bus? I still take it sometimes. After all, you never know who you might meet. People who judge too quickly and learn too late.